Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of the Really Poor Gamers podcast. With me today are going to be my two co-hosts, Ultima Zero and Valak Quinta. We're going to get together hopefully once a week and talk about really geeky, nerdy stuff and just randomness and no doubt, and hopefully have a lot of fun. You guys ready for this? Are you ready? I don't think you guys are ready.
Well, I've been nerdy all my life, so hopefully I can finally let other people know my nerdiness.
Alright, so anyways, the format for this show is basically going to be I'm just going to come up with a list of topics every week, give them to these guys. They're not going to do research on any of the topics, and then we're going to try and talk about them anyways. And since I know Val hasn't done any research, this is going to work out perfectly because we're going to talk about Man of Steel first. And Val is the only one who's actually seen Man of Steel so far. So Val, go ahead and tell us your thoughts on the Man of Steel movie.
It was a spectacular movie. Uh, I really liked how the movie showed how Superman just isn't like the biggest and badass thing in the world. Because, like in the comics, how he can save everybody in the movie, people are dying left and right.
Yeah, I heard a
And then how
lot.
he actually had to kill
I
somebody.
heard a
Yeah,
lot
he had
about
to
that.
kill General Zod.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot that like they tried to make Superman kind of not as strong because this is still new to his powers and stuff. He hasn't learned this shit. I still hate Superman though. I still think he's a terribly written character.
Now, in the terms of Superman, to bring a little bit more recent info, at was it Comic-Con, they released a picture of the next Superman movie, which is the Superman Batman logo.
Yeah, I heard that it was gonna be World's Finest, which I don't know. I got really mixed reviews on that. Like, are you really gonna be pull off the new Batman with Superman?
I like the new Superman. It's pretty, wasn't that bad though.
Yeah, I hear a lot of complaints.
Especially,
I'm hearing a lot of complaints about the new Superman though because like they heard everyone's rage about like origin stories being like, oh my god, we already know the origin story. Quit getting so far into it. But apparently they went too far and didn't give enough origin story.
um, I think they gave like enough just to get to go by. Why don't we let Ultima say some stuff?
The only the only thing I keep thinking of is it's not the superhero movie we need, but it's the superhero movie we deserve.
See,
Ah,
that's my thing. Like, are we really gonna be able to bring in this Dark Knight Batman in with this Superman? Because it's like, okay, you could probably take the Green Lantern that just came out and put it with this new Superman, but I don't see the new Batman going with this new Superman.
Yeah, it's hard to take something as dark as Batman and put it with something that's more light like Superman. The guy who like
well,
saves everybody and does it by the book.
not now in the rumors of the video. The makers brought out a line from one of the Dark Knight movies. I can't remember what the line was exactly, but it was basically where Batman was talking about taking him by the throat, which leads to speculations of Batman and Superman fighting in that movie at first. But if it's like what was that Injustice, where it just became a fanboy win, I don't think that'd be very good.
You know, I didn't get to see who actually did win the Injustice tournament. Was it Batman or Superman?
Batman fanboyism
I
for the
knew that
win.
was
It's
gonna
like,
happen.
come
Like,
on.
I hate Superman, but it's obvious he's gonna win. The guy can punch a planet and make it blow up. Okay, he's kind of broken in like his law.
It's like, what was that? What was that guy from Final Fantasy? Like, suplex the train. Fucking Superman will suplex the Earth. He doesn't give a shit about Batman.
Yeah. Okay, so now
But
we've had 5 DC movies now. Superman is pretty contested so far. Like the critics give it bad scores. the fans give it good scores. In the end, I guess it's the fans that matter because they're the ones who are paying the money to watch it. Um, but like then you have Green Lantern, which kind of sucked, and then Batman was mostly good. I have issues with the third Batman movie, but that's a whole nother story for. I guess this is a story for this time, but we'll talk about it in a minute. But what do you guys think of the DC franchise so far?
One last comment about the Man of Steel was Russell Crowe stole that movie as Jor-El. Just took that movie to the bank.
Did he really? See, now I have to see it just to see Russell Crowe outplay the fucking Man of Steel.
He played that part perfect. But yeah, absolute crap. I hated it.
Green Lantern.
Let's not even talk about the Watchmen.
Wait, the Watchmen movie was I thought that was supposed to be like a really good movie.
The
Like
Watchmen
I've
movie
never
is a
read the
good
comics,
movie.
but
I don't know if I was talking about
I
the
didn't
Watchmen
like
movie.
it.
I wasn't even talking about the Watchmen. I was talking about the three Batmans, the Green Lantern, and now the Man of Steel. I thought the Watchmen was Dark Horse, not DC.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
This is why we're
But
really.
no, as far as
It's
DC
a
movies
DC
go,
movie.
This is why we're really poor gamers because we don't really know. All really poor geeks because we don't really know everything about all the shit we talk about. We're bad at being geeks.
You know
as
what?
for the DC movies though, they've DC movies have always been in like a really like hard spot. I mean, there was always like those old Superman movies, and they were all right. And there were the Tim Burton Batman movies, and they were all right. We're not going to talk about Batman and Robin.
Oh my god.
What, the
No,
1997 one?
okay, we're gonna say let's focus on the recent five, the late as superhero movies have come back into this big thing. So we've got the three new Batman movies, Superman, Green Lantern. What do you think's next gonna be coming up for DC? Do you guys think they've got anything else?
Well, if they follow the pattern.
Justice League.
Do you think they're gonna
Yeah, I
drop?
was gonna say if they follow the pattern.
Are they gonna do the DC,
They made a Justice League.
the Marvel pattern though? Are they gonna do? Are we gonna get a Flash movie? Are we gonna get a Wonder Woman movie and then get Justice League? Or are they just gonna say fuck it, go straight to Justice League?
Well, who's actually gonna watch the Wonder Woman movie for the action?
That
I mean,
depends.
let's just be real
That depends on who they get to play Wonder Woman. I might go just for the fan service.
here. Fan service. Bring a box of tissues with you too for that fan service.
I don't know, man. I think before they make a Justice League movie, got a screaming baby. I think before they make a Justice League movie, they need to reboot. They need to reboot Green Lantern first.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds. I look forward to him as Deadpool, but that movie was just not very good.
The worst part is I know almost nothing of Green Lantern. So I thought the movie wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. I went in and I came out and I was like, I guess it was a good movie. But I also don't know anything about Green Lantern. Other people are like, oh my god, they messed this up, and oh my god, they messed this up. And I was like, well, as a movie, it wasn't the worst.
The biggest thing for me was
I
that
didn't like.
throw all you know about. I mean, because they're kind of revamping these backstories of it. So even if you throw everything you know about them aside, I just think they picked a really bad villain. They picked it's just giant fucking alien. So you don't really get to see like the quick agileness of the Green Lantern, except for the very beginning when he's training against other Green Lanterns. And I think this kind of killed what's fun about Green Lantern.
I think the problem
They
is
balls
they
that movie.
tried to like. I think they wanted it to be more movies than just the first movie, which is why they started explaining the backstory of Sinestro, right? So it was like, okay, so yeah, this movie may not be very good, but the next movie, the villain's gonna be Sinestro, yeah.
Yeah, and I look
So I think
forward
they were trying
And
to
the
do like a
cliffhanger
whole
at the
origin
end.
story.
if
like
they do
the
a
yellow
second
rings and all
movie.
that stuff.
If they do a second movie, I'm gonna go see it still. I love Sinestro. I actually like Green Lantern. He's probably my favorite DC hero after. Actually, no, he is. I don't fucking like Batman that much either. So yeah, I mean, I look forward to them trying to fucking reboot it if they do. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do like the Wonder Woman movie. I don't think it would work out. I think if anything, they should actually go into. They should reboot Green Lantern, get out a Justice League movie, and then maybe make a Wonder Woman and Flash movie after that. Or maybe not. Maybe they just do it like Hawkeye, and like nobody gives a fuck about Hawkeye, so you just kind of throw him in there with everybody else.
Like who was? I can't remember who the guy was at the end of the Green Lantern movie. All of a sudden,
Sinestro.
I don't remember much of the movie, so
no, no, not.
I'm like playing out the ending, and I'm like, wait, I don't remember.
Remember the guy? No, no, that wasn't that. Wait, was it? No, that was the end of Iron Man 3. Never mind, wrong movie. I'm completely thinking about.
Okay, well on Iron Man 3, okay, so we have DC who's got one bad movie, one criticized movie when it comes to Superman. Okay, actually, let me talk about Batman real quick. 'Cause I gotta get this out there. I am not a huge fan
Overrated.
of the third Batman movie. I don't think it was as good as everybody said it was.
It was eh.
Like, I
Every
understand.
time I think of Batman,
I just think they
I
fucked
think,
Bane up to hardcore.
Oh my god.
oh,
Aw.
How do you fuck up Bane? How do you fuck up Bane?
Like,
He is he's a guy who spent his whole life in a freaking Mexican prison, I think for something his father did, I can't remember. And then he goes like and then he gets experimented on with Venom and he gets like all bulked out and fucking like breaks Batman's back and shit like that. And it's like New Bane is like they could have at least made him on steroids if they didn't want to introduce Venom.
exactly. I was okay with him not having, like, okay, I can instantly turn on Venom and get super buff. Fine, I understand you're going for this realistic kind of superhero thing, which doesn't even make sense because fucking realistic and superheroes don't even make sense. But at least have him be like fucking like the result of a steroid fucking overdose or something.
I know, right? Don't just make him like automatically stronger than Batman because Bane was not automatically stronger than Batman.
Right.
He had to steroid the fuck out with Venom. And then it's like, okay, so I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Maybe he's stronger than Batman. I can get past all that. Right? But the end of the movie, these are spoilers. All right. Oh,
spoiler for me.
so
Okay, if you haven't
fucking
seen
spoiler alert.
if you haven't seen fucking the three Batman movies by now, I'm sorry, but you
You're
shouldn't be
probably not
watching
gonna
this
see
show.
Okay, so the end of the movie, the last fight with Bane. Now that we got the spoilers out of the way. You all know how he fights Bane, right? He jumps on his back and he's pulling all the venom tubes out and venom goes down and like he just kind of like shrivels up and you know, he can't contend with Batman anymore, right? That's how he fights Bane everywhere else. In this movie, he's taking these like his sharpened fucking like bat talon bracelets and he's hitting at his mask, right? Like Bane suffers from severe asthma and if I take out this mask, right? And the only thing I can think of the whole time is Batman crawling all around Bane, pulling out the tubes, and I think they were trying to go for the same point, but it just looked fucking stupid. It just looked so bad. I was like, you could have done even slightly better than
Yeah,
that.
I don't, the end of the movie is really like the worst part for me because not only is it a bad final fight with Bane, um, he basically I mean, he doesn't do it. Catwoman does, but he lets Bane get killed, which is like a huge Batman no-no. And then on top of that, they do this fucking shit where he dies, and then the guy who's Robin, but his real name is Robin, is not. I don't even want to get into that stupid travesty.
Well, remember, they also made Superman kill General Zod.
See, that's I don't know. I guess
They
that is about the
forced him to
same thing
kill.
because that is kind of a big deal in Superman. That Superman's always the Boy Scout. Okay, so anyways, we have one criticized movie is Superman, controversial Batman, and then crappy Green Lantern. And then Marvel, now Marvel's got a fuck ton of movies. They have just been pumping this shit out. I mean, you've got was it 5 X-Men, almost be about to be 6 X-Men movies now, 4 Spider-Man movies, 3 Iron Man. I don't even want to list them. There's so fucking
They're
many.
working on.
Now comparison, like overall, Marvel has more bad movies, but they also have more movies in general. So I think it kind of balances out, though. Is it okay to have a few bad movies if you just have a fuck ton of them?
Well,
I think their success with Iron Man, Avengers, kind of trumps a lot of their bad movies in the past. Because they got another. They had another Thor coming out, another Captain America. They got Ant-Man. They got another Spider-Man.
I think it kind of helps that the bad movies have been like the third movies and on, because like Spider-Man 1 and 2 were really good. I love both of them. The third one sucked. X-Men 1 and 2 was okay. The third one sucked. Wolverine sucked, and then First Class was awesome. So they kind of redeemed it with that one. And then you have fucking both of the fucking bad Fantastic Four movies. And then Daredevil is always that movie that everyone's like. I always get mixed opinions on Daredevil. I didn't mind Daredevil. I kind of liked.
I didn't like. I didn't like it. I
the Silver Surfer
eh.
movie. Are we all forgetting that that one exists?
Is there just a Silver Surfer movie? I know there's like the Fantastic Four Silver Surfer movie. Is that the one you talk about? I totally listed
Yeah.
that. I totally
And
listed
then
that.
let's also not forget about Ghost Rider.
Okay. I don't hate Ghost Rider. I actually really like Ghost Rider 1 and 2. I love both of those movies.
It was
What about
okay. So
Hulk?
Okay, the first Hulk sucked. The
the
second one was good.
the second one
Uh,
felt weird to me. Maybe because I don't really know like Ghost Rider, but it seemed like Nicolas Cage went batshit crazy during like the whole making
Okay,
of the
I
movie.
will admit that he went really crazy in that movie, more than he probably should have. That was a little weird. That aside, though, the rest of that movie was really good.
we all know he was on some serious coke during that whole movie.
I want to see
So
like the Ghost Rider Blade fucking draw in. Oh, that's another one we always forget about. Blade is actually a Marvel movie.
you know what? I enjoyed the Blade movies.
I
I
don't
don't
like the
remember
second
3.
one, but I like the rest of them. It's not that I don't like the second one. I prefer not to watch it. If it's on and there's nothing else to watch, I'll watch it. I don't know, the whole like alien vampire thing is really weird to me. I mean, I guess I'm not aliens, but like weird mutated vampires is really weird to me. And I don't know. It's weird, and I don't quite like it. But the third one was really cool. They brought in Dracula as the main villain. I can't remember the name of the guy who plays him, but I love him as an actor. He's done a few cool things, and I just thought it was a really good way to end the series. Now I just want my Blade
Now,
tie-in.
so so here's the problem with talking about the Marvel movies, right? Because we were talking about the DC movies, but we were only trying to talk about the newer DC movies, right? So here's the thing. The newer Marvel movies that are actually made by Marvel Studio, they're hitting like 100 fucking %. Every single one of those movies, in my opinion, is one of the best movies I've ever seen. The Avengers still holds the title as the best movie I've ever seen. I thought it was going to be a clusterfuck, having like 5 characters, all with like their own stories, but they spaced it. They made it flow really well without overwhelming you and stuff like that. And
All I
like,
gotta say, Scarlett Johansson, done.
Am I the only person who thinks she's overrated?
Dude, that ass.
Don't get me wrong, she's got a nice body, and I'd totally do it if I had a chance. But like, I don't think she's that great of an actress, and I don't think she was the best Black Widow.
She
And
doesn't
you
need to be
just
the
lost
best
all your
actress with
chances.
those assets.
Oh, okay, okay.
Dude,
By this
okay,
logic,
so
then we can have a Wonder Woman movie.
she was it. I mean, that's the thing. Scarlett Johansson didn't have her own movie.
This is
Right.
true. This is true.
I think if they were gonna do like a Wonder Woman movie, they need to just have her in the other movie.
Yeah,
Don't give her her own movie,
basically just like
right?
Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Now, we've got Thor coming up in October, like Thor 2 coming in October. Then we've got Captain. I think this is all next year.
Yeah, I think
Oh, I
Captain
think
America is early next year, and then I
there's
want to say
Spider-Man.
Avengers 2.
No, Avengers 2 is like 2015.
Yeah, I think there's
think
still a lot
is
of
when that said.
problems with Avengers 2 because I haven't looked into it recently, but there was a lot of like controversy with that. Like, basically, Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid a truckload for those movies, and then nobody else is. And he himself is like, I don't want to be in it if everyone else isn't getting paid what I'm getting paid.
Oh man. Well, that at least that's noble.
Right.
It's like, look, I'm not. Everybody else isn't getting paid the same amount as me. This doesn't seem fair.
Sorry, but after him, no one else can do Iron Man. I mean,
I agree. If it's not Robert
he
Downey
landed
Jr.,
that part perfect.
not only that, Sherlock Holmes. You can't have anyone else than Sherlock Holmes. It's just too good.
Um, yeah, I just checked that there is Avengers 2 in 2015. But before that, they got Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, the X-Men movie, Spider-Man, and Captain America. They have Ant-Man coming out after Avengers 2.
Oh, speaking of
That's the same year.
fuck, now I forgot. I just completely lost my thought. Fuck. I was gonna say, speaking of so and so
Did you?
movie, there was something else, but now I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, speaking of X-Men movies, the new Wolverine movie. You guys gonna go see it?
Probably not. They've been
I'm a
fucking up
wait.
X-Men or Wolverine for a
Like,
while now.
do we have any hope for Wolverine after Origins? Because I don't think anyone can deny that that movie was pretty terrible.
Well, we
Here's
do
the
have hope because Wolverine can be Batman.
if if they learn from their mistakes, right? If they're like, all right, guys, it was a terrible movie. We're never gonna talk about it. Just our bad on this, and then they start over fresh. Yeah, I would love to see a badass Wolverine movie. Are you kidding me? He's one of the most popular freaking X-Men characters.
I agree. I definitely agree. I would love to see a really good Wolverine movie. I think this is one of those movies that I'm gonna wait until either it comes out on DVD or until I see that it's just got good reviews from people I'd actually trust to give good reviews. Isn't there also supposed to be another First Class movie?
Yes, I think it's in the makes. I don't know when it's supposed to come out though.
I really
I
like
remember
that
seeing
first
something about it a little while
that
ago.
Not in
the
this.
First Class
Oh
movie.
wait,
That was a really good
uh,
one.
2014,
I don't.
July
More
sometime.
spoiler alert. I don't like what they did with Xavier in First Class. Not his
Oh, where he
character
got
in
shot in
general.
the back.
Yeah, it's like, this is why I'm a cripple. No, he's a cripple because his psychic powers are far too powerful for his body. Or something along those lines. It's not, oh shit, I'm a cripple. This is
I
how it happened.
I like it this
Canon.
way because the tension it builds up between Xavier and Magneto is really big. I mean, if you really think about it, they love each other like brothers, but they're always against each other. Even in like the bad third movie when Xavier dies, Magneto damn near pimp slaps the fire dude when he talks shit about him.
he he definitely respects Xavier, and he always has, and he says that he always has.
Right.
It's just they're on two different fronts. It's like the North and South, where people were literally killing their brothers. It all comes down to what you believe in, pretty much.
So I guess this comes down to is which franchise do you have more hope for, DC or Marvel right now?
Marvel.
Marvel's rocking it.
They are. Holy crap. I would love to see some DC movies, but honestly, it's just not a whole lot of DC characters I would like to see. I mean, yeah, if they go and make a Justice League movie, I'll probably go see it, you know. But in all honesty, Batman is still like my favorite character from the DC universe. Other than that, yeah, we got Superman and White Green Lantern.
Oh, I just thought about something. Do we want an Aquaman movie?
So we can talk to fish the entire movie?
That's exactly what
Just like
I was thinking. Like Flipple 3, the Aquaman story.
I just literally I just imagine just freaking Aquaman standing at SeaWorld pressed up against the tanks. He's like, I know you guys can hear me in there. This is the whole freaking movie.
You know, it'd be a movie about how he was the one who freed Willie.
Okay.
As a boy, I freed Willie.
Okay, so let's move
Well,
on.
listen-
It wasn't that
Michael
little kid,
Jackson.
it was me.
Let's move on from movies. And let's move into superhero video games. Now we've got the bad license games, so we're not gonna count them because license games are always bad. The movie license games are always bad. I can't think of a single movie license game
The Spider-Man game.
other than the Spider-Man games that were good.
Well, the first couple Spider-Man
Right,
games
the
were
first
good,
couple
but
ones.
they're just getting almost unplayable now.
But okay, so we have the big
Haven't
ones that
played any.
come to mind when it comes to superhero games is DC Universe, the Batman games, and then nothing from Marvel worth speaking about. So I think
I guess the Arkham pretty good.
yeah, the Arkham games are supposed to be. I haven't played them. I feel really bad. I haven't played. I was gonna buy some during the Steam sale, but I blew all that money on RPG Maker. It couldn't afford to buy them anymore.
I do have one. Lego Batman. That's all I needed.
Lego Batman. Okay, so Lego Batman aside. Okay, so
Lego Avengers!
is there a Lego Avengers?
I think that's supposed to be a game coming out sometime
Oh,
soon.
it's coming out. Okay, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense
Oh, man.
because Legos are really big on co-op.
That would
I
be
might get that.
that would end up being the best Marvel video game ever made. Oh wait, fucking Marvel Avengers. Those games were great.
Well, actually, I don't get to play any of those ones either.
There was actually.
Oh my god, dude.
Was it Ultimate Alliance? Is
There's
that what they're
actually a
called?
really fun.
Oh man, dude, we spent hours playing that because it had that 4-player co-op aspect, and you would just go through. It was freaking great. I legit enjoyed those games.
Now, Marvel released an quote-unquote MMO, which is that what the fuck is the name of that game? Got it here on the
Marvel
list.
Heroes?
Marvel Heroes. That game is supposed. It's an MMO-esque game, but it's more like Diablo, but it's open overworld so that you run into everybody you run into. But the game itself is
Yeah, but
like crap. They did a shitty job of everything in it.
My brother-in-law plays it. He kind of likes it, I guess. But ever since we got Counter-Strike Go, he hasn't touched it.
Right. So like Marvel is like dying in the game department, while DC at least has the Arkham games. DC Universe before it went free to play was a great game. We all played the fuck out of that game.
well, hold up. Let's not forget who owns the Marvel brand. Not Marvel. Scratch it. DC. Who owns the DC brand? Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has their own game studio.
This is true. Warner
So
Brothers.
they actually know how to do things like make video games or at least give it to companies who will make good video games. Like Rocksteady or is that who they were? Rocksteady? They're the ones who made the Batman Arkham game.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh my god, dude, those games were so good.
All right, so in the movie department, we're putting our money on Marvel, but in the games department, it looks like DC, if they get their shit together, can put out some pretty cool fucking games. I would love to see
Superman
like
64.
a fucking. Okay, we're not gonna talk about Superman 64. I think everyone in the history of video games will agree that that's probably the worst video game of all time.
No, no. E.T. the Extraterrestrial for Atari 2600 actually killed the video games. Like, if nobody made any video games after that because people weren't buying them, it like literally killed video games for a couple years until the NES came out and saved it.
Is it?
If it wasn't for the NES, we would not have video games anymore.
Isn't there like some urban legend that the company that made that game rounded up every copy of it and buried them somewhere in New Mexico?
That's actually not an urban legend. There are people who have actually found it. I think there's videos on YouTube of people who actually went out and dug some of the games up. Like they actually rented out a plot of land like somewhere in Yuma or somewhere in the desert and actually took all the ET games and buried them.
Now I wonder if those people who dug them up are also the people that ended up eating other people. I'm pretty sure that game would do that to me.
All right,
Oh,
so
man, if I
Can't
spent
take it
a bunch
anymore.
of money on a video game and it was that bad,
this is true. I mean, it just goes to show movie licensed games 90% of the time blow ass. I can't really
especially if they're done
think
by
of anything.
LJN.
Oh yeah, oh definitely, definitely. I can't think of any movie licensed game recently, like within at least even like the past decade, that have been worth playing. Like even the Transformer ones were really bad. If I'm not mistaken.
Where's Rachel?
But then you have fucking like Transformers Fall of Cybertron, which were amazing.
All the
I'm trying to
Transformers,
think.
Pretty late.
Unfortunately, I think for the longest time Sega owned the rights to do the Marvel games, like after the movies came out, and they were all just so bad.
Yeah, I
I know
know.
they at least did the Iron Man one.
I want to say the first Hulk movie game wasn't that bad, but I could be mistaken. I didn't play it, but I think I remember hearing good things about it.
Well, really, what's bad about Hulk Smash? I mean,
This is
come
true.
on.
All you have to do is smash it, which makes me wonder why that movie was so bad. Maybe it's because he didn't smash enough shit. This is the problem. He's not smashing enough shit.
Because he didn't smash
Obviously.
enough.
And then somewhere, the Hulk just died inside a little bit.
It's like the fucking director just comes up and goes, Hulk, come on, man. You have one job. And what is it? Hulk smash. Hulk smash. So what should you go do? Hulk smash. Get back in there.
And then he sits there and plays with his dolls instead.
Oh, man.
All right, so
I'm still trying to think of good video game or movies based on or
honestly,
video games based on movies.
after the first Spider-Man game, I didn't get to play the second one for the second movie, but the first Spider-Man game for the first movie was really good, and then I cannot think of a single fucking game after that that is worth
Oh my
mentioning.
god, dude, that Spider-Man game was so good. I had it for PlayStation 2. Holy shit, that was a freaking Spider-Man game. Open world environment, could do whatever you want. Still had some missions. It was like GTA Spider-Man, but like you helped people. So it was obviously my idea of a good GTA game. I always played the heroes.
So there's only one way I've ever played GTA, and it's to kill people until the cops were after me so bad that the military came after me, and then steal a tank and run around the tank. That was all I ever did in GTA.
That's all anyone ever does in GTA.
Okay, so DC is jumping into the MOBA arena with Infinite Crisis. And so far, it's got really, really, really mixed reviews. Because apparently they've basically just grabbed everything they can that they think is good from current MOBAs and then mashed it together and then threw a DC license on it.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to take a LOL clone, but add a DC skin to it.
Yeah, I mean the the
No,
the most played map
oh,
right now.
let's let's clarify a little bit. They're not doing what that Chinese game did. That's straight up League of Legends with anime characters in it that are just reskinned LOL champions
Okay, yeah, they didn't.
fighting on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, they definitely didn't go that far. It's pretty close though. The main map is basically Dominion from League of Legends, reskinned to look like a city, and then with DC heroes in it. And then I'm told that most of the champions play exactly like LoL characters. Oh, and they're called champions because they couldn't call them heroes because some of them are actually villains and they couldn't come up with a better name, so they were champions.
Oh god.
It's better than calling them characters, I guess.
Now I know that they've got two Batmans in the game so far, and neither one of them is regular Batman yet. They don't have a Superman at all yet. They've got two different Jokers. Like, instead of having alternate skins for the champions, which they do have, they've got, like, alternate versions of them, which is kind of weird and kind of cool at the same time. You could have a team of nothing but Batmans eventually, if they come up with enough of them. But it's, I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, that's. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to DC just because, you know. But I do know that they have, like, I don't want to say an infinite number of universes, but I'm pretty sure the main universe is Universe 43 or something like that, which is the one that we all know that pretty much gets put into everything. But there are alternate universes of alternate Batmans, alternate Supermans, alternate everybody. And they have had comics where it was like a group of Batmans fighting one person or a group of Supermans and stuff like that. At least I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that. So, and each Batman brings their own different thing to the table. You know, it's not like a reskin. It's like, okay, here's Nightmare Batman and here's what he does. Here's what was it, Gaslight Batman,
Yeah,
and here's what he
Gaslight.
does, and he's kind of steampunky, you know? And it's pretty cool because looking at like Gaslight Joker, and he's like, holy crap, I don't even know what to think of Gaslight Joker, in all honesty.
I guess the question that comes to mind is it okay for them to not grab Universe 43, I guess, and throw that in there quickly to get people in? Will they be able to draw in the audience without the standard characters and basically just a freaking reskin of League of Legends with the item system from Smite? The item system is basically a carbon copy of Smite's item system.
Should they just do the main characters at first and add them later? I don't know. Because then it doesn't feel like it's Infinite Crisis, which is like the main like plot of the game, right? It doesn't feel like, okay, well, here's everybody from the universe you all know. We'll add more later. Because then it just feels like they're just going to call it Universe 43 Crisis, you know?
That's true.
So it kind of feels like they have to do like that. But they should add more than just like, okay, here's two Batmans, here's two Jokers. Get more characters in there. Get like a Superman. Well, they got a Wonder Woman. Get some of those other
I haven't
characters
looked
in
any
there,
of
you know?
this up. I have no idea about Infinite Crisis. All I
I
know is
am. I'm surprised.
Superman's better
Well,
than all of them.
but he's not in the game yet, so like it doesn't even matter. I personally, I think I like the game
He's
better
that
because
badass, but he's
I think I like the game better because there is no Superman yet. Because as soon as you throw Superman in there, it's like it's Superman. He's just gonna punch the planet and they're all gonna lose. I mean, that's not gonna happen because it's a game and they gotta balance the shit. But I mean, that's about Superman. Okay, we're not gonna jump back on how much I hate Superman.
So I'm looking at the website, and I come across the Wonder Woman picture, and man, that's some tittage.
I mean, let's be honest. All comic books pretty much
The
still have to.
Batman looks awesome.
That's the Nightmare one, which
Nightmare Batman.
I think is pretty cool that they went with the Nightmare Batman.
But it shows Batman on there, like, he's on there. He's got like a Robo Batman going on. It looks like some weird mutated like electrical or not Batman but Superman. Robo Superman.
What if they've added in more
Ugh.
characters since the last time I looked? They probably have. I'm sure they have.
Wait, I gotta look that up real quick.
I mean,
We're experiencing some
was right on the front
technical
page.
difficulty.
I will point out that they do have
Well, let's see.
Doomsday, and that's fucking awesome.
I know, right?
On a side note, my buddy sent me a text that said he found an Atari in his attic and it still gets better FPS than his PC.
Lol.
Oh, there are like 3 different Superman. I think they're just like they have ideas for the Supermans, but they just haven't added them in yet.
Yeah, I'm looking at the champion
You
page,
click on Champion.
and there's no actual Superman yet on the champion page.
Yeah.
They do have Shazam, which is pretty cool. He's a pretty good stand-in until Superman actually gets in there. It's weird some of the characters they've picked, because they have like Shazam, they've got Zatanna, they've got fucking Poison Ivy, people that nobody really think about.
Well, Shazam is actually a pretty big character, though.
To be honest, up until like the most recent like Justice League cartoon shit on Cartoon Network, I had no idea who Shazam was.
Shazam! I just like screaming Shazam.
I mean, who doesn't?
I know, right? Do it during sex? Hell yeah.
I will point out I do like how
It's
Gaslight
okay.
Batman looks. It's a pretty cool look for Batman.
I like that Nightmare. That one looks pretty tight. Kind of reminds me of like the Batman after Scarecrow or
But I don't know when I
didn't
see
that how Scarecrow looked at him as
yeah, something
when
like
he got hit with
that.
his own powder.
When I see that Nightmare Batman though, what comes to mind for me is Spider-Man when he mutates.
Oh, like from Carnage, where he's actually got like the 6 arms?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he's actually turning into a
Honestly,
spider.
honestly, I think Infinite Crisis can do really well, and I think it can do really well under one fact, and that's the fact that it's DC. There are a lot of comic book nerds out there, and what's better than playing League of Legends but with DC characters?
Yeah, I think if anything's gonna sell this game, it's gonna be the fact that it's a DC game. Because like you said, it's comic book nerds gonna be drawn in, and even the ones who aren't playing League of Legends are gonna be like, "Oh, it's a DC game," and they're gonna get drawn into it. What I'm afraid is that they're gonna get drawn into it, and then see that hey, there's this game called League of Legends that's super fucking popular and it has like 10 million subscribers playing the fucking game, a huge esports scene, and apparently Infinite Crisis just copied off of it. Let's go play that instead of Infinite Crisis.
That might be what
Well,
happens. I mean, is it
well,
free to
let's
play or when it
let's
goes
not
live? It'll be?
forget how it will still always have like a cult following, you know? Because it's like, do you remember how many people still play Han
I was
instead
just
of
gonna
League of
say
Legends?
that, like, I
Because
don't.
it was like Dota.
The game is pretty
Because
much
Han
dead.
was like Dota.
Right.
But now there's Dota too.
People played Han because it was more carbon copy than Infinite Crisis is to League of Legends. It was more carbon copy than that to Dota. But now there's Dota 2, and I guess this is a good way to segue to our next topic. Dota 2 is now live. There are people who still play Han, but I know for a fact that community is bare bones dead.
People who never played the original Dota and only played Han.
Pretty
Those
much.
people are only sticking around because, god damn it, I paid for this fucking game.
Pretty much. I know that the pro scene has pretty much died, and apparently the devs for that game are a bunch of jackasses. Can't confirm it myself. I've never dealt with them, but I've heard lots of stories of devs on the forums just being super fucking assholes to the community.
It's like,
Man, you should get a
Well-
job there.
well, our game is shit and only about 3 people are gonna read it anyway. Fuck you! Never liked any of you guys anyway. Buy more shit. It's like, wow, what?
But that being said, Dota 2
Sounds like every corporate company in America.
lol. Dota 2 is it's live now. If you haven't for some reason had a beta key for that game, you can now get into the game. If you want a beta key, now even though that's live, I've still got like 8.
I don't think they work anymore.
I don't think they do either, but
Beta keys giveaway at the end of the video.
lol.
Here's the thing.
First eight
Yeah.
posters.
Follow us for beta keys to a game that's no longer in beta. No, but here's the thing though. Dota, they're kind of feathering the way that they add people. They're adding people in like waves because it's like, oh man, we got a lot of people now. I don't know how many.
Yeah,
I don't know how our servers are gonna deal with it.
they're worried. Yeah, they're worried about stability, which I'm really cool with. That's one of the biggest problems to new games, especially online games, is that they just don't know how the server's gonna handle it, and then the game ends up sucking. Let's look at fucking SWTOR.
SimCity.
Oh, SimCity. Oh my god, let's not even
sorry.
talk about SimCity.
Oh my god, launch day of Diablo 3?
Oh
Was
my
that
god,
thing left
Arrow
over?
32. Was that it?
Something like that. Oh my god.
It was
I do
Air
not remember the
37.
number,
Arrow
but I remember
37.
Air
the parrot.
37.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it comes down to, do they alienate everybody with shitty fucking servers? Or do they alienate some people and say, hey, I'm sorry you guys couldn't get in, but we're adding new servers like weekly as we bring new people in, you know? So in like a little while, everybody should be able to play. Or do
Right.
you alienate everybody? How many people stopped playing SimCity because you couldn't play it for a week? How many people stopped playing Diablo 2? In fact, or Diablo 3. Nobody stopped playing Diablo 2.
That was just a lot of people playing that shit.
Oh, I know. Well, everybody was like, Diablo 3, fuck, let's go back to Diablo 2. They're still cool there. But no, it's like, do you alienate everybody or some people? I think I would much rather have a game say, hey, I'm sorry you can't get in yet, we're like full, than say, then everybody jump on and everything be fucking broken.
Yeah.
Because, in fact, I think Diablo 3 was one of the only games recently that they actually had to issue a whole bunch of returns for a computer game.
Cough, soon to be console. Cough, cough.
Now,
Well,
what was it? Now, with the latest patch of that SimCity latest patch, a lot of people also lost their cities entirely that they worked up.
I haven't played that game
man.
since like the month after it came out when we all quit playing. But
Well, you know how I had those 3 cities and I had everything done pretty much? Yeah, I lost all that.
oh, fuck that. See, that's kind of shit that would make me quit playing the
Here's
game.
the thing. I think SimCity's actually going to be coming out with an expansion pack sometime soon. And they're actually asking people, hey, what do you want to see in the game? I think some people are saying bigger cities. I think some people are saying terraforming. You know,
I'm pretty sure
Bring back
the biggest
everything
thing
we
is
love.
offline mode.
yeah, I think that's another big thing that they're trying to work on too, is offline mode.
They don't have to work on that shit. It's already in the game.
Yeah,
A
it's
guy
been
hacked
proven.
the game and actually enabled offline mode. You have to re-enable it so your towns sync up and save, but it's already in the game.
Yeah.
Remember
For
that's
the
when
sake of the devs, I'm gonna say they're working on it. Honestly, I think they might have already confirmed it. I think last time I read.
no. There was remember when the CEO quit of
Yeah.
EA? he quit days after that guy released a video on how he completely cracked that entire game. Offline mode, dev tools. Remember when we played that one time and I built all the highways outside of the town border and I could put buildings outside of the town itself? Um,
Maybe that's why
that
everybody's
guy
towns are broken.
Probably. See, for
no,
me,
even
the
the towns where I didn't do it on, that also.
the only thing I care about is the city sizes. That area is so constricted. You fill it so quickly. And then you're like, well, I gotta bulldoze this to make room for this, and I gotta redo this to have more room for this. I just hated how constricting it
Here's what
was.
I thought about when they were like, co-op, Sim City. I was like, holy shit. And I imagine the whole freaking like world that you build out. And it's like, hey, I built this road here. And your buddy's like, no, dude, fuck that road. Railroad. And it's like, no, dude, fuck you. Road again. And you guys are arguing over building this city. That's what I imagine. I mean,
Thank
sure, there
God
could
that
be
wasn't the
like,
case. I would have destroyed your city in a heartbeat.
I mean,
Dude,
sure,
we'd have
not all
got
of you will play with
nothing
somebody
done.
as troll as Val.
We would have got nothing done at all.
Dude,
I'd have been like,
I am
oh,
so
you're building a
OCD.
residential.
I'd be like, does that look like a square? What the fuck is wrong with you?
See, I would have been like, oh, you have a massive high wealth residential there? Boom, sewage.
I'm gonna turn it into a park for my low wealth people because they didn't like looking at this skyscraper.
Uh,
All right, let's get back on topic.
I,
Dota 2.
Aw.
Now, the thing about Dota 2, which I think a lot of people have to consider, even if they're like huge League of Legends fans, it's 100% free to play. You don't buy the heroes, you don't buy the game client. Everything you buy is cosmetic. It has no effect on gameplay. I think that's gonna be a pretty huge deal. It's a loss leader. It's basically something to get people to use Steam, just like Team Fortress 2 was.
My
actually,
problem
I
is
haven't played it yet, so I haven't
my
had time.
problem is there's gonna be a lot of people like me who never played Dota. All right. Don't get me wrong. I tried playing original Dota on Warcraft 3, okay? But when you go into a lobby and they're like, "Oh, this guy hasn't played any games," and you get instantly kicked, you're like, "Well, fuck this game." So you never play Dota. And the games you do get in, you feed because you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Unfortunately, you also have to have a bit of skill to play Dota properly.
Well, I don't know about that. You guys saw
At
those
high,
training games I did. Okay, at high level play, you have to have skill to play anything. Even Call of Duty, which I think is the dumbest game ever. At high level play, you gotta have some skill to fucking go in there at that level. But
Yeah, going
like,
back and watching some of those like
the
360
thing
no scope
with
shots.
the thing with Dota and like League is there's a big difference with how towers and creeps work. Like you can deny creeps.
oh yeah.
The minions, a one wave of minions can whoop your ass all the way back to the tower.
Truth be told, though, one way of minions in League of Legends do that. A lot of people don't realize that because they never tried it. But if you start that game at level 1 and try to fucking tank minions, you're gonna die quick. I
Yep.
think a lot of people look at Dota 2 and they're like, oh, it's a more complex game. I don't think it's more complex as much as it's more complicated. I don't think complicated necessarily equals complexity. There are things that LoL does different than Dota that make it more complex. But at the same time, Dota, like in Dota, you've got denying. You can deny towers, you can deny heroes, you can deny minions. It's a much bigger emphasis on farming. You've got tone radius, like you actually have a tone speed, so you have to consider that when you're trying to dodge skill shots and shit. Now that stuff exists in the game, and there's a huge amount of like use items, and that's all in Dota that makes it more complex. But at the same time, League of Legends have tower aggro. You will die quick if you try to dive underneath the tower without the right team comp, which I know now is a big thing in League
I
of
got one
Legends.
thing.
But in Dota, I can dive
I
underneath the
got one
tower
thing
all
to say,
day.
Ryan.
Oh, when I gotta talk about ARAM. I mean, we gotta talk about.
League of Legends ARAM APE. Fuck that shit.
I will say that
That's what League of
Dota
Legends has.
Dota does have a lot of custom modes. I don't know if they're actually in the game or if people like if they're modded, but I've seen a lot of videos of them. Like everyone is playing the same champion. Everyone has infinite, 100% cooldown reduction, and they're really funky game modes. And I want to try them, but I haven't had a chance to yet. But anyways, I think that League of Legends and Dota are just complicated in different ways, and like Dragon control and Baron control is huge in League of Legends. If you don't have those, you're probably gonna lose the game. Rosh control isn't that big. It's kind of a second thought. Even and everything I've seen, there hasn't been a lot of emphasis on Rosh control. Either you're winning the game when you take Rosh, or you don't. Unlike Baron is, you fight for Baron. Like if you see them going for Baron, you get your ass over there.
You know what? Sometimes Baron just isn't fucking worth it. If they see them going for Baron, and your minions are close to one of their towers, like one of their base towers, fuck it. Everybody go to the base tower. They have to travel from either go back to the base or give up on Baron, go back to base and stop you from pushing up to the Nexus, or they have to try and base race you, which you already have a lead on it. I feel Baron just isn't the BN, you know, all that it is.
Right, deciding Baron is definitely a huge deal. That that gives that extra layer of complication to League, complexity to League. Well, knowing when to go for Baron is important. Knowing when to fight for Baron is important. Knowing when to back the fuck away and not care about Baron is important. Whereas with Dota, Roshan is just this thing that is there and you take it. Like I've been watching. I didn't get to watch the tournament this week, and I really wanted to. There's been some tournaments going on in the past month with Dota 2, and I really wanted to see how the professional level played, but I didn't get the chance to watch it. But I've been watching a lot of high level play on YouTube, and Roshan is always like a secondary thought. It seems.
But I mean, could you imagine if Baron also gave the one who got the killing hit on him the resurrection item that like Roshan gives? That could break some shit in League.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got Zillion Alt and Guardian Angel. I mean, anyone can build Guardian
Could you
Angel.
imagine? Could you just imagine someone like sticking HIs with Guardian Angel, that item, and a zillion all? I mean, good God.
To be
You have to
fair,
go and his path.
I did play that
You have to go
skeleton.
through that douchebag 4 times.
I did play that skeleton king game who has that as his ultimate. I didn't take Roshan, but if I had taken Roshan, I'd have had that too. And it's a little bit more overpowered in Dota because in Dota it's full health and mana, and Guardian Angel is just a flat health amount. I don't remember the exact
Like
numbers.
750 or something.
Yeah, it's like 750 health amount, which is if you're a carry, it's a lot of health, but if you're anyone else, it's kind of not really a whole lot of health.
Yeah, like if you're a tank or anything. Like you might as well not even do it.
All right, so since we're kind of moving on to league talk, we're gonna take a break here real quick. We can use the bathroom, do whatever. You guys can listen to some music. I got who we listen to? We listen to Balance and Ruin, Final Fantasy VI from OC Remix, and we'll be back in about 5-10 minutes, and we'll talk about some League of Legends when we get back.
I think I'm gonna unmute the screen so I can listen to the music. Hey. So love me some Final Fantasy 6.
Okay, well, mute event. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Final Fantasy VI Balance of Ruin OC Remix. Check it out, ocremix.com. They are pretty badass.
I know this probably isn't the time or the episode for this, but Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in another one. But yeah, no, that's it's a really good album.
Suplex the train.
They kickstarted that on Kickstarter, and it came out really good. It's a full disc album. It's long as hell. We're gonna be listening to that probably the next few podcasts.
Yay!
All right, so we're moving on to League of Legends talk, and apparently Val has just now done the research on it and is already raging. So Val, what do you think of what is it the new magic resist changes in League of Legends?
What the fuck, Blitz? What the fuck?
Ball.
Must
It's
have been talking to Blizzard about item changes.
I mean it's not it is that bad actually. I am really annoyed by the Aegis change. Mostly that it's not gonna give armor anymore because that's the only real armor aura item in the game.
I just
It doesn't.
I
It doesn't give MR or I think too, right?
It's getting reduced
Or it
MR
doesn't give
aura. It's
MR.
not gonna give any more flat MR. It'll give you the 30 aura. So basically, you're gonna lose from
No, it only
Bulwark.
gives 20.
Oh, is it only 20? It might have been changed again since the last time I've seen it.
They're they're taking Bulwark out entirely.
Right. From what you had, okay, what you had with Bulwark originally was it gave you 60 MR between the aura and what it had on it, and then it was like 20 or so armor. And then if you had two of them, you were getting 90 MR, which was quite a bit of MR for just having two bulwarks in the game. But now they're removing bulwark, they're nerfing Aegis, they're changing the locket and making a build out of Aegis, and then they're changing almost every other magic resist item in the game.
Well, I guess now
Done.
I
Out.
have to buy
Fuck this.
Locket. It's like I can understand their reasoning, but don't just wait for the next season. Don't just fucking do it because, oh man, everybody's buying Bulwark. Let's take out Bulwark.
So here's my problem
Don't
though.
just do that.
They're removing bulwark because everyone buys bulwark. Locket. Okay, first off, all of these are targeted towards the jungle primarily because almost every jungle is a tanky jungle nowadays. You don't buy. There are no real good carry junglers because they don't do as good right now. So almost every jungle is a tanky jungle because tank items are cheaper than attack damage or ability power items. Almost every jungle buys Locket, and now they're making Locket better. So you're getting rid of one item that everyone buys to make another item a must buy. Not really fixing the problem.
I think it's more or less trying to make it so people don't have two OP items, they only have one OP item.
I mean, the biggest problem is that jungle is basically fifth support. They get less gold, so they have to buy tanky items instead of carry items. They're not fixing the item. They're not fixing jungle. They're not fixing support, which is still a problem with support. Support's. I mean, I watched LCS this weekend, which is the first time I watched it in a couple of months, and every support had boots, sightstone, and wards, and an oracles. 4 items the entire fucking 50-minute games. That was their items. They didn't care about buying anything else. And that's kind of a problem. I mean, they've got to do something to fix this. And then the jungle is just as bad. The only difference is the jungle actually gets a little bit of gold, so they can actually buy. They'll basically buy the items the supports used to buy because they actually have gold to buy it with.
That's why I don't do support.
I do support. I don't know. I usually get a lot of items, but I don't usually buy like 90 wards. So it's like, come on, man. Give like
Probably explains why we lose a lot. I mean,
a little support for you guys. I play a fifth carry.
To be fair, I didn't see a single Leona this weekend. So I mean, I can't imagine a Leona would be successful with that build. Maybe that's why I didn't see one though, is because it's not going to be as successful.
Probably. It's a lot harder to support if you're pretty much spending all your money in war. Because it like as a support, it doesn't feel like you're really fighting the enemy team. It feels more like you're like fighting them killing your wards. It's like a whole giant ward battle.
Okay, so you guys know I've been playing some Dota 2, and there's something in Dota 2 that I think League could actually benefit from, and that's that there was a limited stock on worlds on a timer. Do you think it would work if League's worlds were limited stock on a timer, which means after the timer ran out, you could buy more? That way, if they balanced it right, there would always be extra gold on your support, so it's either they buy something or they'll actually sit on gold that they'll just not using.
But then it would be like the potion changes. I mean, if you have the
the
ability to
post
kill
changes were
wards,
needed though.
it comes down to whoever can kill the wards first wins.
This is very true. Well, the thing is though, is that your sight wards would also be on a limited amount, so you'd only be able to drop so many, and if you drop them in the wrong spot, they're not going to be as useful. So you'd probably always save them for dragon. You'd probably have to change oracles though to be like a 3 minute buff tops. That way you could try to time your and probably put it on a cooldown too, a limited cooldown.
They're already shortening it to 4 minutes.
Yeah. I'm glad about the change, the 4 minute change. The other changes to it, I'm not so sure about.
Well, don't forget that like as a support, you're not buying any items. You're only buying wards basically. Are you really gonna have that 400 gold to buy the oracles?
Well,
Uh,
yeah, you
depends,
do.
If your
depends how many
if your
wards
team
you
is
kill
if
with it.
your team is losing, does anybody have 400
Yeah,
gold to go out and buy an oracles and
this is
try and
true.
clear ward?
This is true. The world
All right, it's
game.
like I'm gonna drop my 400 gold on an oracles. I'm gonna go out into the jungle, try and clear some wards, but they're waiting in those bushes and they kill me. GG, we can't possibly come back from this.
Yeah, this is a good point. The world game is kind of like the snowball game. The team that's ahead is gonna world more, and they're gonna make sure that they always have worlds up, and they're gonna kill the guy with oracles because they're ahead and they're strong enough to do that. I just don't want to see
I mean, as a
another.
support,
I don't want to see another, League of Legends World Championship Series where they go through 100+ worlds in a freaking 70-minute game.
That was awesome. There was more cheering every time someone killed a ward than there was for when someone got a kill. I mean, come on.
but that's because there were no kills. It was literally them warding and then them backing off Baron and then them coming in and killing the wards and then them coming in and killing those wards and placing their own wards, and there was literally no action going on whatsoever.
See, this is kind of
That was
like
the problem.
this is kind of the reason why I want the limited worlds. And maybe I change the oracles that help keep it from just clearing them out. Is because at least then, if you're clearing out worlds, then at some point both teams were probably going to be sitting there being like, we're out of worlds. So we've either got to be super aggressive and hope we win, or play super defensive, which is the problem because we don't want to play super defensive. That's gonna be boring as hell.
But then you know what the new meta is going to be if there's a ward cap? Every single champion
With
has to buy
Sightstone.
wards.
Well, no, well, the world count would be towards your entire team, not towards just a single person. That's how it works in Dota 2. But
Oh my god, dude. If you had a Lee, but here's the thing: if you had a Lee Sin on your team or a Jax,
yeah, that would
what's
that's the thing is
so
like
support's not gonna have any wards.
obviously
Then you'll have people arguing over who can place the wards and where they should place the wards and such, as if freaking solo queue wasn't troll enough.
this is true. Well, the thing is you'd have like Sightstone wouldn't count towards that limit obviously because you don't buy Sightstone, so you'd always have at least a 2 to 3 on Sightstone, and that would be okay for your Lee Sin because that it's pretty much universally agreed that Sightstone is the best item on Lee Sin in the game. And then you could probably buy the same shit for Jax
It gets me
too.
out of the situation.
Or definitely puts you in better situation.
Because, I mean,
Doesn't
what's
like
better
placing a ward
than...
behind someone, dash into it, and then dragon kicking him.
But what's better than juking them with flashing and putting a ward behind you as you flash and then jumping back after they flash after you and just sitting there laughing?
You
I
both
mean, it's the
wasted
best feeling.
flash. You both
You
wasted
made
flash.
it out.
One person's
You
alive
both
that was
wasted
supposed to be
flash.
dead though, so I do see Val's point. At least he's
That's the
alive.
thing. That's what, 400 gold that that person doesn't have now?
That's the other
Yeah, I
argument
burned
is
flash,
like
but
is flat. Wards have become the new Flash. It's like, what do you do to fix wards without breaking the game? Like that was the old argument for Flash. Well, what do you do with Flash to make it balanced without breaking the game? Because so many champions were relying on it to not instantly die. I remember when Kog'Maw first came out, it was you took Ghost and Flash, and you prayed that you didn't get stunned because you were gonna die. I will say Flash has gotten a lot better. I've seen a lot more people take Ghost over Flash, especially in the jungle. I'm really surprised how many jungle champs I see who don't take Flash but take Ghost instead. But like, how do you fix that with wards? Like, my idea obviously had flaws, so it's not gonna be perfect. How do we fix wards so that it's not this freaking ward fest? Or is the problem not wards? Is it just that we need to find a way to get supports more gold so they buy more items?
We need to find a way to
well,
give supports more gold.
on my support page, I have to run, to keep up at least, I have to run that talent where I get gold whenever I auto tech, and I have to run gold per 10 quints just to be able to somewhat keep up.
Yeah, see, now here's where you're gonna get some salt knocked off your face. Pro players are not running GPT and Quints. I do think they're still running the Masteries, but they're not running the Quints. They don't care about GP10. They don't buy GP10 items. They're buying Sightstone, Boots, Oracles, and Wards.
My main lane isn't support, so I don't really keep
Right,
up with that.
true.
I just run whatever works for me, right?
But this evolves into the problem with jungle, and why jungle items are getting nerfed. There's not enough gold in the jungle, just like there's not enough gold in support to make the carry jungles. You know, your old Nocturne carries, your Zinzaos, your Tyrannamils, your strong jungle carries who are squishy, but they can do a lot of damage. They're not getting the gold they need to do that. So that's a problem there. It's the same problem supports have. Supports have it worse because they're not getting any gold at all. At least jungles are getting some.
I think one of the changes to oracles and like site wards and stuff like that is the fact if the support throws it down, no matter who kills it, they get some of the gold back. I think that's a step in the right direction because like as a support, I'd throw down a pink and I'd go to kill it. But no, my fucking AD carry would take it. It's like, you need that 25 fucking gold? For real?
Yeah, that
Did you
is
spend the 125 gold to buy
annoying as
this ward?
balls. That is so annoying as balls. Especially when you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy an oracles. I'm gonna clear out at least 4 wards and make 100 gold back, and then you make back like 25, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't
that
know.
was pretty.
Honestly,
I'm so glad I have a Surge Protector.
I think wards are fine where it's at because it comes down to like, okay, well, I'm spending a bunch of money on wards, you know, because truth be told, even if you put a cap on it, they're still going to be spending all of their money on wards.
Right. Well, the idea is that you'd put a cap on it to the point where that they would gain enough gold at some point so that even if they bought all the wards they could buy, they'd have extra gold left over. So that they'd either be not spending gold they had, or they'd be spending it on something useful.
The problem is, the only solution I could possibly think of is make support items cheaper, but then you run into the problem of everybody else buying support items.
Right, especially
Like
jungles.
how everybody was buying the jungle items. Everybody was running around with Spirit of the Elder Golem, Lizard, or Wolves. Wolves? Wraiths. His Wraiths.
It's kind of like Blue Ezreal nowadays.
Now I hear
I
that
mean,
season 4 they plan on tweaking jungle more, which we all knew was gonna happen because the jungle right now isn't very good. I don't think. I personally hate the jungle. Now. I don't want a jungle. Part of the reason I've avoided ranked is because I don't want to get stuck in the jungle. None of my jungle champions I think are very viable right now. And I don't want to it's not that I don't want lonely champions. I just don't. I have champions I like and I like to play them, and I hate to not play them. But at the same
See, I
time,
had to adjust my jungle.
see that yeah. You're just doing great in the jungle. Like everyone considers Udyr trash, and you're actually doing really good with Udyr. I, on the other hand, I'm like, okay, well, I'm a jungle and playing Maokai or Skarner, and I am getting my asses kicked with both of them.
Well, I did lose 3 games in a row as Udyr. One of them I played top lane and I got countered fucking hard. And then 2 times in the jungle, one of the games I had 2 people go AFK. So like, well fuck, I can't carry this now. And the last one, it just came down to a base race.
Do any of you guys have the link to the changes to the other MR items?
no.
I
mean,
just I
I
have whatever
I
Alpha
subscribe
sent
to
me.
I subscribe to Surrender at 20 on my Facebook page, so I usually read them as I go. But I don't know. At the time, I was like, Spirit Guard Udyr is coming out, and I want to see all the info on that, so I ignored everything else.
Alright, so let's talk about Spirit God. Let's talk about Spirit God Udyr. Um, I think it's a fantabulous skin. A lot of people think that if anything, Spirit God Udyr is really just a VU rework that you're paying $20 for, and they think that that should pretty much just be the default Udyr now.
If it's a default, they
Mm,
should probably do a refund then. If they do that shit, that'd be pretty homo.
Well, the complaint is
oh
that
man, Val, your money would go back to Shui.
the current Udil is so
Okay.
outdated that and that the new one isn't that over the top like Fire Ezreal. And I can see where they're coming from in some of this. That it just feels like you're paying for a visual upgrade instead of an actual ultimate skin. Do you guys feel that it's worth the money?
Um,
Being an Udyr
I can
fan,
understand. I can understand where a lot of people are coming from because, like, okay, so base Udyr, just Udyr being how he is, or Udyr turning into the animals how he does, just like normally, like rank 1 through 4, right? I can understand. But the fact that it gives a different visual update for each animal, you actually kind of like transform into them even more, or like, I don't know,
like that's how it
Mohawk.
should be. Like for Bear, like you know, pre-level 6, he should just like appear above you for a second, like how it currently is, and then after level 6, kind of like the Ezreal thing, where you actually start to turn into him a little bit, and then when you hit level 16, I feel you should fully become like that spirit. Like as long as you're in that form, like actually look like a phoenix or a tiger and everything.
That's what a lot of people
I
thought
mean,
it
like,
was gonna be, and I think that's what a lot of the disappointment is coming from. Is that just didn't hit what people thought it was gonna be.
yeah, because I mean, it does kind of seem like a visual updated Udyr. Don't get me wrong, the skin is fantastic. I love this skin. It's really good, but if you're putting into the context of like, would it just be a visual update as opposed to a new skin? I guess kinda. You know, I mean, if you had him slowly transform like Ezreal does, like Ezreal gets the jetpack or he gets his hand cannon gets upgraded more and kind of shit like that, and it lets you know like, hey, I'm upgrading. I mean, that's kind of cool. You know, if you had Udyr slowly do that, like his level 6 or his 5 points in it, or is it 5 or 6 points in? It's 5, right? Like, yeah,
Five, yeah.
once you put the 5 points in it, that he should turn into something different. Like the 3 points in it, he should be what he is at his 5. I don't know. It just feels like it could have done better for like a $20 skin. But don't get me wrong, it's still great. I still love this Udyr skin. Even though I don't play Udyr, I bought it because fuck you guys.
I mean, I did too. Valve's fucking lucky. He got his gifted to him.
Yeah,
Oh, him
but it's
dinner.
like, I mean, if you're putting it into the aspect of could it just be a visual update? Yeah, it could. Could you do that with Ezreal? No, you could. Well, not with Pulsefire Ezreal, because Pulsefire Ezreal is a completely different take on Ezreal. It's not like, oh hey, I upgraded. Like, hey, I look clearer and crisper and sexier, and check out my new jacket. No, you turn him into fucking like Cyborg. You turn him into Mega Man.
I think one of the biggest problems with Udil is that he's got basically four different models, and because he's got four different models, no matter what skin you do for him, it's gonna take more time, more energy, more resources. So it's like, yeah, this probably could have got away with being a visual rework or legendary, but we went a little bit farther, not as far as we probably should have, because we had to make more shit. I think the biggest thing is they redo Udale. He should just have one model, maybe wearing the different animal hides on different parts of his body, and then redo the particle system. That way they can simplify the model, simplify the animations, go a little bit farther with the particles, and have a better base for future Udale skins.
Like if they did a new like visual update for Udyr, I think it should be what that it's the one Val uses all the time. It's the one where he actually transforms,
Primal.
kind of. Yeah, Primal Udyr. I think Primal Udyr should be stock Udyr. Just regular old base skin Udyr.
Or they could do what they did with Karma and make it the base, and then whoever had Udyr before has his old skin as like a special,
I think
and
what
then
they should
visually
do,
upgrade it.
take his current skin, his upgrade the current skin to a better status. He's still wearing the bell helm. Now he's wearing like a right shoulder pad that's a tortoise shell, a left shoulder pad that's tiger hide, something for the Phoenix. I don't know yet. And then he's just wearing all that stuff in the base model.
Wings, of course.
And instead of him growing, like his helm changing every time, whatever piece that he transforms into is the part that starts glowing on him. That way it's one model, unified throughout. It's a simple enough theme, no matter what you do. And then the primal deal is now like not the legendary one, but the one step down from that one, the 1350. That one falls into that category. I still don't think. I mean, I'm. If they do that, then it kind of makes the price for um, Spirit Guard deal better after the fact, but not currently. I'm with you guys that it. When it comes to Pulse Fire, like Pulse Fire Israel, I think was definitely better. And then Spirit Guard deal, they did some cool stuff with Spirit Guard deal. I mean, we're getting we get 4 banners, 4 icons, 4 login screens. The login screen is great. I love it. The music to it is also really good. We got the comic book, which was cool. I mean, it was fun.
The voice acting update.
Right.
Not only that, but he also has like special taunts. Like if you kill dragon with a certain one, he should be like, "The dragon has been slain." And he does cool things like that, which is something along the lines of Pulsefire Ezreal, right? He had special taunts. He had like, um, what was it? Like when he upgraded, he'd say like you'd hear that Pulsefire cannon online, and that was some cool shit. But it's like, I mean, you'd only hear it in certain circumstances, like killing Nidalee as a tiger. It'd be like, haha, who's the better cat here, or something like that.
Am I the only person
It's
who
just like,
sees that who's a little disappointed that it's Nadali that gets that taunt and not Ringo? I mean,
Rengar does need
Ringo
a
is
special type move for
always a
that.
cat, and Nadali's only a cat when she transforms. I think that. I mean, I understand that Nadali's an older champion, so it's kind of a nod to the fact that she's an older champion. But like, I don't know. Ringo's always a
Maybe Riot
fucking cat.
realizes that no one plays Rengar.
He is kind of in that stupid spot right now. Okay, so on the talk of ultimates, if you could choose, who would be the next champion to get an ultimate skin, and what kind of theme would you go for?
Oh man.
Hmm.
Huh.
You want me to go first so you guys can think? Because I've been thinking about this since Pulse Fire Ezra.
I've been thinking about it for a while too, but like every time I come up with one, I'm like, that could just be regular skin.
All right,
But you go ahead.
here's what I
know you
want.
got it.
I want a Maokai skin. That was no surprise there. I fucking love Maokai. He's one of my top 3
Oh,
favorites.
God.
What I want is a Cherry Blossom Maokai that as he levels, the cherry goes from the fucking dead tree to the cherries, the cherry petals starting to blossom to those fucking white petals that are all fucking cool as fuck. Um, and that his plant, his little dude he throws, does the same thing, except at max level of that, it becomes an actual like cherry running around instead of just a blossom.
Mildly adorable. I think
Uh,
I think that would be too much going on. I'm literally imagining a giant cherry blossom wandering around on the fields of justice. His leaves are shaking as he walks, and the cherry blossoms are falling, and all you can do is stare at him. Because
Yes,
it's so
and then
that's
beautiful.
perfect. That is perfect.
and then Bran comes by and he's like, "Catch a bit," and just lights Party you on fire.
If you do get hit by like Annie or Brand, all of your leaves need to like scorch up. Swoosh.
Oh man.
You guys got nothing, huh?
Ah,
Nothing. You can't think of anything.
An ultimate skin.
Ultimate can go.
I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people have been talking about something along the lines of like a Pulse Fire Lux or something. I'm not sure if this. I can't consider this a legendary skin, but you know what skin I would love to see? I would love to see Aerith Lux. Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. That's
You
it. I know
know,
there's a custom skin
I
out there.
want to punch you just
I've want.
because you've
I
used that
have
custom
wanted it.
skin forever.
I've wanted that skin forever, to the point where I was even starting to model out Aerith instead of Lux. But then somebody beat me to it by just like taking the Kingdom Hearts 2 model and putting it in there, which I mean it's fine. But ever since I played Lux, I was like, wow, she's like fucking Aerith, and that's all I've ever wanted. That's all I've ever wanted. That's it. That's it.
Okay,
I could
you can
see.
have that skin only if when she dies, Master Yi falls out of the sky and kills her.
Yes, fucking yes. Okay, I'm good with that. I agree with that. That's how we make it legendary.
There's actually two champs who could probably have a pretty nice one. Any champ with like armor could probably have a pretty funny ultimate skin. Where like take Leona. Leona first spawns in like rags and shit, and then every 6 levels or every 5 levels, she gets more and more armor. Like at level 6, she like picks up her sword and shield, like the proper models for the sword and shield for that skin. And then at level
rags the
12, she
riches.
grabs. Yeah. So when
Instead of
she
that, what
hits
you
like
could
level
do is
16, she's
have
fully
like
armored.
I was. Here's something I actually thought about earlier, ish, was a Malphite that as he had a higher armor stat, he got like bulkier or bigger or some form of like maybe more rocks were on him or something, and he just
Kind of
turned
like a
into this big
Rammus.
fucking like powerhouse.
As the more armor he gets, the bigger his spikes get.
Dude, that should
Does
be.
that happen on Rammus?
No, that should be how it does though, because that's what Amos's passive is. Its passive is spiked armor, and the more armor he has, the more attack damage he has. So they should just do that for Rammus. Period. As he gets more armor, just like
Yeah.
Cho'Gath, as he noms more people, the more armor Rammus has, the bigger his spikes should get. That would be badass. Also,
I
a
actually,
Sonic the Hedgehog Rammus skin because why not?
Well, yeah. Well, around the terms of other
I actually
characters
got a
from
better
video
one than
games
that.
coming in and becoming skins. Uh, Cloud Tyrandamere.
Here's what needs to happen, right? Misfortune. Her legendary skin needs to be the higher the level she gets, the less and less clothes she has.
I'd buy
Done.
it.
Right
It makes
there.
sense because she is skanky whole pirate, and everyone knows it. On that same note, you can do the same thing with Ari. The higher level she gets, the less clothes she has, because she's total seductress.
Or you could do Sona. Higher level she gets, the bigger boobs she gets.
We're not gonna talk about Sona boobs. Okay, we're not gonna derail this into Sona boobs.
You mean the planet?
And I'm already googling Sona boob. I don't know about you guys.
Okay, well since you're doing that, I challenge you to Google Renekton Sona.
Do I want to see that?
Yes, yes you do.
Is this a thing you've seen before? Hang on.
Yes.
Renekton Sona. I see
I
the
think
masculine Sona.
I'm disappointed that
I
it's
think
not
like
the
the
first
change.
image. I gotta find it now.
I see this
I think the
fat
change
dude
that they're
just dressed
doing
up
to
as
like
Sona.
I feel like the change that they're gonna be doing to Twisted Fate
Oh yeah, let's
should be
talk
something
about
they might
that.
want to think
The
about.
global passive changes. Twisted Fate and Janna, and then we have the question. There's no announcement. Zillion is also one of these questions you got to think about. They're changing global passives like Twisted Fate's global gold gain and Janna's global movement speed because basically you're just getting free stats for having the champion without actually having any interaction. No matter what lane you're in, you get free gold and you get free movement speed. They're removing it because they want to fix that, which I don't think is a bad idea. I think it is kind of OP that at the beginning of the game you're automatically 3% slower than the entire enemy team.
Your carry is automatically getting more gold than the enemy carry.
Yeah.
I think the change that they're doing to TS passive, where every time he gets a kill or something like that, he rolls bonus gold.
I like
I
TS
think
passive on a thematic level. The problem is that they've been really against the whole randomness. That's why dodge doesn't exist anymore. It's why crit has basically been normalized to that you either crit cap or you don't. Like no one buys crit otherwise, unless you're gonna cap or get really close to it. They've gotten rid of a lot of the random elements in the game, but then they throw in this one that's gonna randomly decide how much gold you get. And I think if there was some mechanic where you could control how much gold you got out of it, it'd be better. But because it's random, it's kind of them going back onto shit they've changed in the past.
But it makes sense. I mean, as a gambler, him rolling the dice to see if he gets a bonus.
Oh no, it definitely makes sense thematically. I definitely can. I don't disagree with that at all. But just how the philosophy has been, I'm not sure I can be like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
I, I kind of like it, in all honesty. You either get 1 gold or you get 6. I'm cool with it.
I don't know, I just kind of wish it was more like
I mean, that way
like
it's not a
Draven's
set
who
number, you know?
I like.
So,
I don't know, I just think it should be more like Draven's who has a way of actually making the gold work out. Like for him, it's the more CS you get before you get a champion kill, the more gold you're gonna get. Maybe you should be able to like bank it, and if you go X amount of time without missing CS, you get more gold. But as soon as you miss a CS, you lose that. That way, you still got the gamble aspect, but it's something controllable.
I mean, I can understand how it's like, oh my god, random. So, like, some game you'll have significantly more gold than the other, even though you hit the same amount of CS. But all in all, it does, like, it's just one of those things just supposed to be an added bonus, you know? I mean, not everybody has a super perfect passive. Some people's passives are pretty garbage.
This is true.
So the fact that he's at least getting 1 gold per kill, guaranteed 1 gold per kill, is pretty cool. And the fact that you can get at least at the most 6 is also pretty cool because then you'll be like looking forward to it. And I'm sure a lot of people will be there going, fuck, 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 awesome, haha, no, fuck. So it
no,
really.
that also brings up maybe they could enhance a talent or something like that. So every like second or third attack they do on a minion, like they could add it to the champion one and make it so every second or third attack they do to a minion, they get bonus gold off of. For if you go that deep down into the support tree.
And supports definitely need something, but I don't see Janna's new passive though, which has me confused. Oh, unless I'm confused, but makes me wonder what hers is gonna be.
I don't know.
If anything, I
I
think
mean,
Janna's more passive is more OP than TF's because it's more relevant. Because it's useful in that level 1 team fight. If you go to invade, you can get to the bush
well,
quickos. You've
well,
got better trades.
let's not look down on Twisted Fate's passive though. Um, your AD carry has hit every single CS, right? They're sitting at 100 CS. My AD carry is sitting at 100 CS, right? My AD carry has 200 more gold than you do. That's almost boots.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
health
it's
pots. That's
definitely not.
almost something else.
It's definitely not something to scoff at. That's for sure. Especially if you add in things like Havris Blade and champion kills on top of that. I mean, you get 5 champion
Honestly,
kills
it
on
mostly
100
matters early
CS.
game.
Yeah. Well,
Because how many people really back before they hit that 100
that's
CS?
another point on why I think Janus is more OP because Hose is good all game. Though at no time in the game will being 3% faster is a bad thing. At some point though, you're gonna hit a 6
Yeah.
item build and more gold doesn't mean anything to you unless you're a support.
Well, yeah.
And then there's the
I don't know. I mean,
question
like,
of like Zillion. Zillion is a flat experience gain, which obviously is really OP because it means you're gonna level quicker, but really affects the mid more than anything else because mages scale the best with level, but has no use at all late game because once you're 18, there's no point to new experience. But at the same time, Zillion's also kind of weak right now, so do you nerf his passive just because you're trying to neutralize globals?
I think you'd almost have to, though.
I can
People
definitely
play
understand
Zillion?
it. Yeah, no, nobody plays Zillion. That's right. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about, Lau. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the conversation.
It's part of the conversation. Meant to be a joke.
But no, I mean, like, you'd still have to because think about it this way. If you watch the LCS, yeah, sometimes people do still play Zillion. I know I've seen him quite a few times this season. And then it comes down to, do you remember that game, your Renekton versus the Talon?
We're not gonna talk about that.
What was your complaint
We're
about
not
that
gonna
game?
talk about that.
Talon hit level
He hit level 6
before
before
you
I
did,
did, and I don't know
and he
how.
murdered you. And that was it. He hit level 6 before you and murdered you, even though he had backed at one point and still came back.
No, the complaint was that I actually got
So,
false blood and then died to ignite, and then came back and he hit level 6 and killed me.
yeah. So that's part
And
of
then you
the
uninstalled the game.
yeah.
I did uninstall the game.
That was the icing on the cake.
Hey guys, if I lose to this Talon as a Renekton, I'm gonna uninstall my game.
Okay.
You
40
know,
minutes. It's uninstalled, guys.
the the only reason you lost to that Talon was because of the exclamation that you did before fighting him.
Yep.
Here's the thing.
You got cocky.
Characters will beat other characters, but it all comes down to the player.
This is true. Okay, so what we're saying is that I'm bad at League of Legends. Okay, we get this. Um, let's move on to something else. Lucian, I know
He's in
you'll...
denial.
Shut up. I'm bad at the game. I'm not in denial. I mean I'm bad at the game. That's why I'm still bronze 2. Let's talk about Lucian. And all of the things that go along with Lucian. When you see Lucian, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Let's go ahead and get this out of the way.
Next champ, Lucian, the black guy. But you have to say it like Freak when they do the champion reveal.
Alright, so Lucian is the first black guy in the game. He's dual wielding what basically looks like pistols, even though they're not actually pistols in the base game. Though some stones that shoot light, but well, you know that. He's an 80
Guys,
carry.
I don't know if he's really black because he doesn't hold him sideways.
You had to go.
Can we not get racist?
You just alienated. You just alienated all 5 black people who are into geeky nerdy stuff. Thanks a lot. We just lost
Look,
5 possible viewers.
you got
You had
search
to?
your feelings. You know it to be true. That's all I can say at this point. Just, I was in the army, and I know how they shoot. I'm just, we're good. I'm good.
Anyways, have
What
you
were you saying?
guys have you taken a look at his skill list? Like actually seen it and not just read the
No.
descriptions?
I don't play
Of
80 carries.
course not. Of course not.
Lucy and the black guy, and that's as far as I've gotten. I haven't been able to delve any deeper into
Okay,
it.
so
Just because I laugh every time I see it.
being the only guy to have actually played Lucian on the PvE, let me go ahead and talk about him. He's an 80 carry. His passive lets him basically double shot whenever he uses an ability. Basically, he gets kind of like a a Trinity Force whenever he uses an
Master Yi.
ability. It's like Trinity Master Yi, but it procs
And
off of abilities.
and isn't he like darker than all the other champs? Like isn't
Okay,
that in
I'm gonna mute Vent and
America?
speak, and then unmute it and let you guys talk. All right, so his Q ability lets him shoot a beam through everything in the path. The max range on the beam is 1,100 units, but the max target range is only 550 units. So you have to, in order to hit the thing to the farthest back, you have to aim at something closer first, which is kind of cool. I'll talk about why it kind of sucks in a minute though. He gets basically a dash, which takes away all CC on him, and it resets if he kills something with his ulti. And then he gets an AoE, which if he attacks the person he AoE'd, he gets a movement speed buff. And then his ultimate is the cool thing, and it's basically he shoots in one direction for the duration of the ultimate, and you basically gotta fucking. It's like playing Contra almost. You gotta line up the fucking shot while aiming in one direction.
How is he gonna hit the shots if he's shooting sideways?
Okay, Val. Bad. We
Yeah.
thought Ultimo was the racist one here, but Valaquint is showing his true colors.
Okay, so all right, hold on.
Oh god.
Disclaimer. Hold on. Disclaimer. We're not racist, but that doesn't mean that racist jokes aren't funny.
Okay.
I do
Moving
it
on.
strictly in the sense
Oh,
of humor.
Okay, moving on.
But no, in all honesty, I did see some of Lucian's talents. I've seen what they do, but I didn't see what they do. If you understand, like I've seen the skill shot lines, I've seen that he fires it in front of him, I've seen that he does the AoE cross move, I've seen his dash and stuff like that, but I haven't seen what they do per se. Like when you said if he hits his AoE move, he gets an ability or he gets a movement speed buff. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
But like
basically,
I said, I have looked at him, but not like read in depth.
Lucian is basically an AD carry that's all about position, which is like, okay, whatever your AD carry is about position. He is so about position that it's not even funny. He has to be in the right position for his Q, which is his primary nuke, right position for his ultimate, and his, basically all of his other abilities are making sure that he can land really good ultimates. His ultimate is unique in that the number of shots fired while doing it scales with attack speed, which is really cool because it fits into the fact that he's an 80 carry. So his ult doesn't go down when you buy attack speed items. It still benefits from it. The unique thing about him, though, is that the builds I've seen most successful on him are cooldown reduction builds, not your standard. Basically, blue Ezreal, but not blue Ezreal. I'm not buying like the same shit, but I'm buying Black Cleavers, I'm buying Zephyrs, I'm buying Bloodthirsters. I'm buying cooldown, but I'm not going for that huge crit build like standard AD carry, and I'm also not going blue Ezreal build.
My so like the thing I got out of his ulti was it feels more like Miss Fortune's ulti if Miss Fortune had the brains to move. Miss Fortune be all titties, yo.
Yeah, it's very much like Misfortunes in that it's
Dude.
firing in one direction. The difference is that Lucian can move, and his bullets stop the first thing they hit, so they don't go through everything like Misfortunes does.
Lucy needs a
Dude,
Morpheus.
if Miss Fortune hit her ulti and ran, she'd knock herself out. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, there's a reason that Misfortune carries her guns the way she does when she's walking. It's because she's also holding her boobs down in the process.
Yeah, the recoil would give her a concussion. Ah.
Oh god, could you imagine actually she ultis and tries to move and then she's been slain?
She doesn't even get hit by anything. It just says executed, and it just shows her titties.
Okay, well,
I
since you guys have basically derailed all Lucian talk, let's move on to. I think this is gonna be our final.
We can You can keep going. I'm good. I'm
Wait,
sorry.
I got
I
one
thought
about Lucian.
I thought you were like, hey guys, we're gonna do a show where we nerd out about stuff, but ramble too. Rambling.
We've got a little
No,
excessive with this
no,
particular one, though.
All right, all
no,
right.
no. I had one with Lucian. You know how like, some characters have like special like emotes and things they say to other champs. I feel whenever Lucian comes up to one of the champs with a big rat, damn girl, go back to my place.
Okay, well, we're gonna come back to Lucian when he goes live, since you guys just derailed everything about this conversation.
Okay, I don't. It might have helped if we played him or maybe read a little
I
more. But
honestly
yeah, he
thought
does
you guys
seem
had
like he's.
looked a little bit more at Lucian since he's a new champ. But I
I
guess,
told you.
I guess I was wrong. We're gonna talk about the new Yi, and that'll
Dude,
probably be the final topic today. So let's talk about the Yi changes. No more AP Yi, full AD, a nice visual rework, and some pretty cool
oh
changes
yes,
to some of his skills.
ARAMs are gonna be fun again.
I know, right?
Just because
Oh my god, dude.
we've brought up Yi and ARAMs, I want to point out that I got Pentakill with Master Yi at 6 minutes in ARAM.
You're welcome.
Could have
Sono,
stole that pencil. I thought about
Sono.
it.
I was like, you know what? I know he's gonna do it. I ran in there and I'm like, Sono. And then I let you do your Alpha Strike.
To be fair, I was not expecting the Penta. I knew I was going to get one kill, hopefully two with the reset. The fact that I got all five was super surprising.
And now you see they're taking out AP.
So no more APE. You guys, yay or nay? Obviously, yay for ARAM. What about for regular? Because APE is the only way to play him right now
Well,
in regular
I
normals.
was I was beating the shit out of this APE in mid as Katarina because he'd Alpha Strike to me. So what I was doing was whenever I saw him going into Alpha Strike, I'd always Shunpo to the back of his line, and he'd Alpha Strike to all the minions and wouldn't touch me. And then he'd come back to pretty much where he was at the back of the line, and I'd hit him with my AoE and my Q, and then I'd Shunpo out.
I guess the big question is he gonna fall into AD carry status of Tyrannum is the only real AD carry that works. I saw some Aatrox this week, but he never did anything worth mentioning in LCS. So Aatrox is still pretty much crap. Nobody plays Fiora, and then there's Master Yi, which everybody, if they do play him, they play
Fiora
him
bot.
as AP.
Again,
We're gonna
Fiora
try
bot.
that again in the future. For everyone who doesn't know, Fiora bot with a support that has a hard CC like a Leona, a Thresh, or a Taric. Thresh is really good because of the Lantern, so you can use that to get around easier. And then you send your AD carry, preferably someone who can really hold their own solo, like Quinn. Vayne would be a good one now because I've seen a lot of Vayne tops. You send them top instead and watch them crush top against crappy melees. Of course, now APs are the big thing top. Yeah, now AP is like you go top AP or a ranged AP top. Bruisers are dying, which is sad, even though I hate seeing so many of them because most of my best champs are bruisers.
I don't know. In all honesty, I'm kind of glad about the changes to Yi. I think he'll be a lot better in the jungle now. Because it kind of felt like, okay, Alpha Strike, sure, it did a lot of damage to minions, but it didn't have an AD ratio. So it was kind of like, okay, I'm going to do like 400 damage every time. And then it was like, okay, well, now I've got Meditate, and it's garbage because I don't have any AP. You know, it's like I might as well not even use it. Maybe I'll just use it before I fight Red Buff. Okay, here we go. Okay, I gained like 200 health.
I'm a
Okay,
little
whatever.
sad that Highlander will not reset on kill. Its duration will be extended, but it won't reset anymore on kill. And I have mixed feelings on Wuju style being percent instead of flat because I loved having my free AD at level 1 through 9. Cause I like AD a lot. I like carry Lee even though he's not that
See, but
good.
if they change that, Then they probably are gonna end up changing Fiora's Reflect, because that also gives flat AD.
Well, I think
With the right rune
it's
set,
a little
mastery
different with
set, I
Fiora
can hit
though.
100.
The thing about Fiora is
I don't know.
though you're investing points into a skill that's not that great. Like the reflect isn't super awesome. It's really dependent on who you're up against. Whereas Wuju style is always good. It's always flat AD, and the activate is more flat AD. So it's always good.
I
But
don't
the
know. I
thing with
think
that is, I can easily start with over 100 AD on Fiora at level 1. And you stick me on top lane with 100 AD off the bat, and I can do some damage.
No, I mean I could start with 100 AD on Scion and wreck you because I got a stun and you don't.
anyone can really start with 100 AD if they tried.
But it's really easy on Scion, Fiora, and Yi because they get that flat AD, which is kind
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it comes down to I kind of like the new Wuju style because it gives him a percentage of true damage, which nowadays everybody's building armor like freaking crazy, you know? And it's getting to the point where like I think a lot more champions coming out lately are going to start doing more and more true damage.
As long
So
as
I
it's
mean like
not, as long as we don't have a team of like people that have Garrett and Darius all on one team, and you just see them all ulti one person, and that guy just obliterates.
yeah. What also comes down to is like they kind of had to scale it back a bit because Yi is a lane pusher, right? And if you activate it and get like double the amount of AD or X amount more AD, that's all he's going to do all game is he's just going to push lanes. And it's like, okay, well if he starts doing true damage doesn't really work on towers,
of.
you know?
It does. I don't know if it will for Yi, but Koki's works on towers.
Does it?
Yeah, Koki's passive 10% works
Hmm.
on towers. Fairly certain. I might have to look to be double certain. I'm probably gonna be wrong, and someone's gonna tell me, but I'm pretty
Maybe it'll
sure
be
it
I mean,
does.
cuz having it add to your like let's say you have 100 AD and it's like 10%, you're only doing 10 extra damage to the tower, as opposed to if it doubled your AD and now you're sitting on like or of your Wuju style, now you're sitting on like 150. Well, that's 50 more damage
But I definitely get that
as opposed to
it's
like
more
10.
Actually,
balanced. I mean, because you're talking, it's total it's 70 AD when activated and 35 when not activated. So it's definitely more balanced because when you hit that tower, you're gonna hit the tower for 70 damage, whereas with bonus percent damage, it's only gonna hit as hard as you have items. It's rewarding you for buying items, which I don't disagree with. It's definitely the thing is though, it's gonna make his late game or his early game, not his late game. His early game is gonna be a little bit more rough, and it's already kind of rough because he's not gonna have that flat AD. So it's really gonna come down to how good is Alpha Strike now, how good is his jungle now. They say his jungle is gonna be a bit better because Alpha Strike is more reliable. And then, of course, Alpha Strike's going to reset on auto attack. So it's really going to come down, I think, to Alpha Strike, to whether or not um, the new Wuju style is going to be good. And whether or not the new Yi altogether is going to be good. I think it's really going to rely on Alpha Strike because you're going to be relying on it not only as your gap closer, but it's going to be your way of avoiding the big AoE damage because he's going to be 80 carry, squishy in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I still see Alpha Strike more as a gap closer or an aggro drop from tower
I definitely agree.
kind of thing.
He's the original dunk. For those who don't know, because I saw this thread on League of Legends, why is Yi the original dunk master? Because Yi will dunk you, auto attack you to death, and then Alpha Strike to drop tower aggro and laugh as you die. And Darius is a hater and not as cool as Master Yi in his dunks to Master.
Darius is just toxic to the game still.
I think I think Darius is balanced now. After the last ultimate change, I think he's balanced.
Yeah. That's what I thought his ultimate should have been from the get-go. I remember telling you guys that. Like instead of like what was it?
Instead of guaranteed
I don't
reset,
know.
it's now a
Whatever it is now is what I
duration.
said.
Like it resets for a limited number.
Yeah.
See, yeah, it's for those who think Darius sucks now, because I've seen a lot of this on the threads too. Darius is no longer going to kill you, come back to lane, and have an ultimate ready again. Now, if he kills you, he's going to come back to lane, but he's got to wait on the ultimate just like you do. Now, when the ultimate comes off cooldown, he's probably going to kill you again if you didn't do something to counter it, but at least you have a duration in which you can figure out what to do, and you actually have a duration of farm. When you get back to lane and he still has an ultimate, he's going to immediately kill you again, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. But at least now, you have a pad duration. He's still gonna do fucking penta executes if he's getting good.
I'm still not a fan of Darius.
I've gotten to like him. He's got some pretty cool nuances that make him fun to play. Like actually timing the not timing, but figuring the distance of your axe from him to do the bonus damage is pretty cool. Okay, I know.
He's fun to play, but I don't like going against him.
Yeah, no one likes him. He is one of those ones that you don't really like going against him. He's kind of like Zillion. Like
Because he's got
you
all
don't
the
really
land.
like to go against Zillion because you're gonna get bombs on you, and you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna take damage. Nothing I'm gonna do about it. Take damage.
He does a lot of true damage and he does a lot of like bleed damage. So it's like, oh, I'm just gonna build straight tank.
Right. Okay, I know I said that we'd stop after Yi, but I saw this yesterday and I actually want to bring it up. Hemodingo changes have been kind of peaked out a little bit.
I didn't see anything on that. When were you gonna tell us about
You
that?
want to hear about this? Hemodingo's turrets now fire lasers.
Pew!
What it is they're gonna have the
Are they sharks?
no, they're not
Are they
sharks.
sharks?
Laser
What
shot.
it is they now fire the standard auto attack, which is the same range, but they have a cooldown laser, which is AI driven, and it will pretty much anytime a champion is in range, it will fire the laser. Um, but the laser can be avoided. It's a skill shot. So it's and Hemodic is now getting 3 turrets back instead of 2. The overall damage of the turrets is being lowered, but because of you have 3 of them now and the laser damage added to it, they're gonna do more about the same or more damage overall. So the idea is that you're gonna want to try to spread your turrets properly so that you can land. If they avoid one, they're gonna get hit by another one, basically. It looks really cool. The ideas were looking pretty sweet. I don't have the details. We'll talk about it more, I think, next time. Um, his ultimate's getting a change, and they haven't talked about grenades or missiles yet, but apparently they're getting a minor change too. But his ultimate looks like it's going to change. It's going to be kind of like Karma's mantras, where activating it will change one of his other spells. And they did say ulting with a turret will let you immediately drop all 3 turrets in one go. So you can basically, oh shit, I need turrets now. Here they are.
Oh, I think they've been talking about that for like a while now. Because I remember seeing that like a month ago.
But this is the official one. This came up yesterday. The Farius was the guy who's been working on it. Posted it yesterday. Obviously, when I'm at work, I'm not working. I'm looking at League of Legends because there's nothing better to do when you work at Cracker Barrel but look at League of Legends.
Sounds legit.
Apparently, though, the ultimate will basically add a slowing effect to his other abilities in some way. The turrets will obviously become slowing turrets, and then you can drop 3 of them at once. And then I guess the missiles and grenade will do something special too. I'm excited about this though because I like Hemodingo. He was one of the first champs I learned to play back when he had 5 turrets, and his ultimate was literally to upgrade the turret from blue to green to red, or whatever colors that, yellow to green to red, or whatever colors they were.
Oh, you mean when he was broken?
When
And
he
it's
was
like
broken
him
as balls, and if you walked into a bush with 5 Hemodingo turrets, you were probably dead. And he could throw grenades at towers and do damage to the towers.
And when he soloed Baron outside a Baron pit and Baron never fired on him.
Hemodingo used to
At
be
level 1, by the way.
broken as balls. Alright, so I think that's it. You guys have anything you want to bring up?
That's it, I guess.
All right, guys.
Wait, hang on. Wait, hang on. What's my YouTube channel?
I was gonna say that. Follow us, guys, on YouTube. This will obviously be on the RPG podcast channel, which I need to get the official address for because I actually don't have it. But follow Ultima. Ultima talk about frenemies play.
We play some Minecraft. We're building a volcano village. It's funny. Oh,
That's
everyone
probably the
dies
most
so much.
descriptive thing I've ever seen.
Okay, we found a volcano. We are going to mine out said volcano and turn the volcano into a geothermal reactor, which will power a village that we plan on building around the base of the volcano. We're starting off a little slow because all Minecraft starts a little slow, but we finally got to the point where we have a quarry and we have a bunch of other stuff. We have jetpacks, and we're starting to make some electric tools so that we can delve into the volcano and, try not to die. So check it out. It's pretty fun. Just YouTube search for Frenemies Build. Frenemies Build. Build. Check it out.
All right.
Is that more descriptive for you,
Yeah,
Val?
that's a lot better. Val, your channel sucks. You still want to talk about it?
Not really.
Like, no.
I'm still working on it.
All right, so
I
Val
got
has
a video,
a channel in
Facebook
the work.
game, and a
Obviously,
Civ 5.
this will be on the RPG podcast channel. You're gonna find all of these. All of these podcasts will be uploaded to the RPG podcast channel. I also plan on uploading Hoofster's Hobo at, which is me playing competitive games in a way where that I probably suck at them. I'm not trolling, but I'm still gonna find a way to have fun at them, even though I suck at them. I want to do some random rants, kind of like we do here on the podcast, but a little bit more specific to my thoughts on different things. And then I'm gonna make a video game with RPG Maker, and all that will be coming up on this channel very soon. So keep a lookout for that. And thanks for watching, guys. See y'all next time.
If you're
See
watching
ya.
this on YouTube, check the bottom description. We'll put links to our YouTube channels in there.
I probably will. Maybe not Val's, but I probably will. Next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody!
Yeah.